Well, we're here again at our mobile reasoning with Good News Jamaica. And today we're joined by Basil Dawkins, extraordinary playwright. And, I'm not going to get into it.
Don't.
We're going to talk, we're going to reason, how we do our thing. And we're just going to learn about this wonderful man.
Good how they do, everybody. Good how they do.
All right. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the thing. Basil.
Yeah, man.
Welcome to Mobile Reasoning.
Welcome to me, Ad.
Thank you very much for having us inside here.
Yes, pleasure.
So we're just going to start out. You're from Portland.
Listen now, let me tell you, I'm not from nowhere, it's a Jamaica.
All right.
Let me explain that because people get a little touchy about it. Mm-hmm. I was born in Port Antonio.
Yes.
I left there when I was 4 months.
Aha.
I went to live in Manchester, in a little place named Shudley near Troy. Mm-hmm. So I went to primary school, Pike Primary School. Mm-hmm. But when I passed common entrance, whatever them call it now, I went to Manning's in Westmoreland. So I would say my formative years were Westmoreland.
Westmoreland?
Round and about Westmoreland. But even in Westmoreland, I lived in several places. Background is that my mother was a social development officer. Jamaica welfare, back in the days with the Eastern Lee and them people. Rest his soul, the late Eastern Lee. So what happened is that she would be transferred. Those days, government people used to get transferred all over the place, and they just get short notice to just get up and go. So we just get up and go.
Yeah.
So basically, my high school to the first 2 years after high school, up to 6th and 2 years after, it was Westmoreland. So I kind of regard Westmoreland as having had the most influence on me. And then after that, I came to Kingston to university and have not gone back yet.
Yeah. So now that is what I want to talk about now, because you speak so highly of Westmoreland.
Yeah.
How come you don't go back a country? Do you go back a country?
Yeah, man, I go back. Admittedly, I have not gone since my mother died. I find that the journey is very onerous since my mother died, because it was always a pleasure trip with the children. Right. The only problem with them is that every minute them would wake up and say, if we don't reach yet, we don't reach yet, and we can't reach yet. But it was a fun thing, and then things went where we used to go and come often. But after my mother died, it became, and then again, it's me alone always going now, because children big and gone about them business and everything. Right. So, but I'm totally in touch with them and do everything that I'm supposed to do, but I don't travel down there as often because I find it a little painful.
Now, Jamaica is split, right? Country and town.
Country and town.
Which one you select?
Boy, me's a countryman at heart who exists in a town.
I understand that.
Right? There are certain things about the city that I love, and there are certain things about rural Jamaica that I love. There are certain things that I dislike about rural Jamaica as well, and there are certain things that I dislike about city. I just mix and match it.
Right.
I'm comfortable anywhere I go.
All right, I want to jog your memory real quick. So I want you to think of that euphoric moment when you were a child in country that you always bring back, and it puts a smile on your face.
Well, I would have to say that would have been high school days, I found that having gone to Manning's, I found Manning's a very warm, embracing environment for me. You must remember now, that when I went to Manning's, I was coming, everybody who were in first form at the time, them have other people who were in the same school, in primary school or prep school and so on. I was coming from Manchester. Nobody knew me. I was kind of the lone kid. But they soon embraced me, and I had fun memories. Particularly, I would say, like during my sixth form years, when you kind of have a level of autonomy now. And people regard you as responsible and big, and you think you're big too. So it was fun. Generally though, Charles, wherever I go, I just make it. If my head can fit, it's my home. You know.
I understand that.
Yeah, basically, because I never had deep roots anywhere. By the time I fall in love with a little place and start make friends, it's time to move again.
Right, because
which
of
is which in a way affects me in that I am very careful up to quite recently to make deep committed friends because I would soon have to go and leave them and then start the process all over again. Not so difficult now because you have the technology that keeps you in touch, but in those days, when you leave from one rural area to another rural area, and you're not getting, you coming like you migrate. You know?
It's true, true. So, when did you notice the creative side of yourself coming out?
It's a strange thing, but I never noticed any creative anything coming out of nowhere.
No man, Basil man.
But let me give the background.
Right,
let me give you the background. As I told you, my mother was a social welfare officer, as it was then. Part of her remit as a community development officer was that she had to do community plays based on issues that attended and affected the members of the community.
Okay.
Right? So she had to direct plays for the community that, it dealt with literacy, dealt with abuse, it dealt with, there was a time, I remember there was a play that dealt with men who have been children and don't want to get married or commit, and those kinds of plays. And most of them came down from the head office of the Jamaica Social Welfare. Okay. And guess who wrote them?
Tell me.
Easton Lee.
Ah.
Right?
Okay.
So at about 9 or 10, I was reading Easton Lee's plays because they were just in the house, just there. And I developed a fondness for liking reading them because they were funny and they were relatable, and they dealt with issues that I could easily understand. And then I would drop in sometimes and watch my mother direct and those kinds of things. It was usually based at a school or church or them kind of things. And but essentially that it was part of the community development, the cultural side of it. So I kind of had a kind of grounding. Funnily, when at Manning's, at my high school, I was quite hostile to theater and anything dramatic.
Really?
Yeah, because first of all, them used to do king this and king that, and
right.
dress up in a tights and thing, and English stuff, it's English grammar school, so says that's where it come from. And I found it sissy and strange and couldn't get out football and those things. So I never paid any attention to it. However, my mother, I knew, had a concern that I was too shy. She felt that I was, whenever shy, it's a way they call in our country, dark.
Oh, yes.
Meaning that if you're having a good time in your living room and anybody come to my mother, we just disappear. We're gone.
Okay.
Really shy, like that. I think it was part of the not having any roots, not being able to be anywhere for any extended time. Yeah. So it kind of, anyway, at a point in time, my mother seemingly became concerned about that and suggested that one of the things she would recommend to get me out of my shyness was doing plays, doing theater, getting involved with hearing my voice loudly in the presence of other people.
How old were you then?
High school, second form.
13, 14, 15?
Maybe 12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 14 and she found out that it kind of still was plaguing me. It's not, something where me I grow out. You look like me I grow to more of it. So she became concerned. So she began to alert me to the fact. She sowed the seed and she just leave me, I would occasionally go to the plays in the community. I think I'm more going to deal with get girls or look girls or more than to see what was on stage.
Right.
Most of the scripts I had read in and out, I almost know them. And so that seed was there from early. However, nothing happened creatively for me until when I came to university now. That was big man thing now. I remember about 18, 19 or whatever I was at the time. And when I came to the University of the West Indies here, part of the exposure in freshman's week was that we were required to watch a play. And in freshman's week in those days, everything was compulsory if you were a freshman.
Okay.
Which lasted a week. Orientation really, and they want to get you involved, so all kind of things pleasant and unpleasant happened.
Right.
But part of the strange thing was that you had to say a play. No, I never understood why I had to say a play, but we never had any choice. So I went and I saw the play and I enjoyed it immensely.
Wow.
I was totally engaged. It was Smile Orange, Trevor Owen, Smile Orange. It was first I was seeing Grace McGee and Carl Bradshaw on stage. It was the first I was seeing a professional presentation.
Right.
And it fascinated me, and I say, but this looked like something I could do. And I say, I really charged up, and I really enjoyed it. It's the first, I never knew you could enjoy a play like that with such intensity. So on the way walking back up to Taylor Hall now, all the self-doubts and the negative voice start come to you and say, you're too old to start that, man. Notice that most of those people were, them either, it was Trevor Rowan on stage himself, and Carl Bradshaw and Glenn Morrison, and I see them guys, they begin at the thing from long time. You are start now, where can you expect yourself to go? Anyway, the seed was there. I know that I was thrilled. On the way back up to Taylor Hall, by the time I reached to my room, I dismissed the whole thing again because the negative self-talk, you have to be careful when what you say to yourself, because it becomes true. So, and then, freshman's week, so after that now is Talawa, the inter-hall drama competition. And my friend JB, who went to Manning's with me, Jonathan Brown, he was always involved in theater. He loved theater. And so because he was involved with a play, I think the play was Ione by Roderick Walcott, Derek Walcott's brother. I just decided that I'm going to go down to the creative arts and just watch them rehearse. So I go to the creative arts. What it named Creative Arts again. But at the time it named Creative Arts Center at UW. So I went, named Philip Sherlock now.
Philip Sherlock, yes.
Yeah, but I went and stood up at the door and was watching them at see. Not even going in, I tell you, so I'm shy. So I stand up at the door and I watch. And I watch the process. And, I wait to see if when JB I go come on, because it's only him one I know, and I watch the process. And the director look around and say that it was Monty Sweet. You, what are you doing there? Come here, man. Come. We want some crowd. Go up on the stage. Go stand up on the stage. Just stand up. You don't have anything to say. And I went and I stood up and I said, wait, it's me this? It's me this? So me was there and me do, which was much. Me never had anything to do, really. More than them just wanted.
But you
that is where I'm marking the spot where a crowd would be.
Right.
That was my role. So, cool. Nothing offensive, nothing too big. At the end of the rehearsal, when them looking at the schedule, let's say, who available when, you know, and then what about your availability? So me say, me not available. So them decide the time and say, the director say, you here, what your name? I'm telling him, Basil Dawkins. You here? Like 7 o'clock tomorrow, you here? So 7 o'clock I'll be that down.
Yeah, that's right.
7 o'clock I'll be that down. And JB glad now because JB say, brethren, nice to have you on a stage, you know, and start encourage me, man. Charlie, them give me one line. We eventually evolve into getting one line.
Yeah, man.
Listen to me now, man. Me rehearse the line like it was a sonnet by Shakespeare, you know.
Of course.
Bathroom in front of me mirror. Me rehearse the line. I'm comfortable with it. And then me start invite up my girlfriend and me start invite me because performance night now I feel good with me one line. The night, the place full. Of course, you know, it's inter-hall, so everybody, it plays ram, man. So, me on stage and me feeling good, man, and me, I remember the line. I'm ready now, man. And then, in the middle of the performance, me hear a man say me line.
What you saying?
Yes, man, a man say me line, man. And me say, the whole man say my line. And my line that, I'm not supposed to say that. So you see from that time, me vex, man, because I'm line.
And your line
So
that?
when the play done, I come off now, I not talk to nobody because I'm vex. And JB said to me, brethren, what did happen to you? I said, you mean the man no gone talk me line, man? And look how hard me study the line and I'm ready to deliver my line. And my girlfriend there and him say, if you never said the play wouldn't go on, we wait for about 3 minutes and you not say anything. Me say, what you say? He say, him say it because the play couldn't go on. And everybody I look at you and you look at everybody like you're good. So that was my baptism.
That was your baptism.
Thereafter, I went on in my undergraduate years to do about 14 plays. I really get in it.
Yes.
We start move from crowd to one line to two lines.
That's
we
right.
start get some semi-leads and them things. So then after I graduated, so much so that I did like major productions during the summer, that toured and those kind of things. Really into it now. And when I graduated, I was invited to become a member of the Caribbean Theatre Workshop. And Caribbean Theatre Workshop is really where I honed the craft because it was more experimental theatre, finding out what the body could do and the whole mind thing and all kinds of things to really take out your ego and things out of the way so that you can deal with characters honestly and completely. And I did some productions with them, and then I'd been working. I had a problem now because my work required me to travel, and so nobody not putting you in the play if you have every minute you're gone,
right,
you know.
Of course.
So it so happened that I said to myself, since I can't stay in touch with theatre and on stage, I still want to stay in touch with theatre, so I'm going to lighting. I'm going to learn lighting. So I started to go to a lighting workshop up at Philip Sherlock Creative Arts Center. And Loba, you see, when I find out that I have to go climb on a ladder and go up, go train light, and that you can't see electricity, you only feel it. We say, no, sir, I can't bother with that.
Hold on a second now. I see a thing happening, and I want to point it out to everybody watching. Mr. Basil Dawkins, who is known as a world-renowned playwright, Actor Boy Awards, wait till you see the awards, all over the place, started out on stage.
Yeah, man. Started out in a crowd
as a
scene.
crowd.
Me one as
You
the crowd.
as the crowd.
Yeah, man.
And continue to build on that.
And build. Did a number of things. Did experimented with comedy. Did drama. I felt more comfortable doing comedy, but I always get cast doing the dramatic roles, and I liked it and really felt comfortable now in theatre. So much so that I remember Ralph Gonsalves, who is Prime Minister down at one of the Eastern Caribbean islands, he used to say, "What did you come to the university for, young boy?
Wow.
You're going to waste the taxpayers' money." Those days you could have board free and Mr. Manley pay for all your tuition and everything. He said, "That's not what you came here for. Your parents said that you can go back a country, go make sure say you transform and the whole thing."
Yes.
But I love theatre. But I did well academically still. But theatre, I found that I really started to love it. Now, when I graduated Caribbean Theatre Workshop graduated, I was, Carmen Tipley had a play called Skeleton Inside, which JB and a few of us went to audition for at the barn. I went at the barn, we did the audition, never got it. JB got a lead role, and some very interesting people, Ronald Goshop, Val Morris, them big guys were in there. And but because again JB was rehearsing, and then me and JB shared a flat. We used to go to the rehearsals with him sometimes. So me start watch the process, man. I'm gonna watch the process. And me see the play and me see the play in rehearsal, me see it in performance. Then after a time, Carmen used to just make me come and sit and watch. And me just sit and watch and me take it in, and me say, "But me can't write a play, man." Since we can't act again because we don't have that time there, and we can't, in the lighting thing, why we not write? And then me rationalize to myself that writing I could do even when I'm traveling.
That's right.
It's there. So me decided that I would do a little writing. That too was encouraged by the fact that there was a state of emergency, I remember at the time. And during the state of emergency, I think 9 o'clock lockdown. Basically like now.
It's like 79, 80.
It was like 70, like 77, 78, whatever. It was a big state of emergency. And I remember that time is one television, and I think it's black and white.
Right.
It's JBC and it's black and white. So basically you just go to your bed. So that's when I started writing.
Okay.
I saw the Tiplings play, and remember now, I have the background of
Easton Lee's
plays. So now I say, all right, find something that is relatable and find something that I can tell a complete story. And I just started to write stream of consciousness writing without any training. Well, without any formal training. I mean, I've done so many plays and read so many scripts by now that we had to make sure that we could understand structure, we could understand those things in a very unsophisticated way.
So that's what I want to talk about. First, let's pause for a second. So I want to talk about the process of writing a play. When you hear now about writing a play, you're given all kinds of rules and regulations of how it's supposed to lay out and all these things. But you just started writing.
Yeah, I just started writing. It's funny. It was flatmate. It was based on when I started to work. Right, I worked in New Kingston, and my thing was, how these girls dress so nice and look so good. When we take in bus, we go, and them look hot and everything. And I am sure that as I graduate, I am getting more money than them. How them can live so? Because we can hardly make ends meet. and them seem not to be feeling any pain. And then it gave me an idea of two flatmates, female, and one who is a go-getter who deal with all the things that is required to get the people to come and finance her. And then she have the roommate is a Christian who not doing any of those things, condemning all of it, but still eating of the fruit of the the evil fruits. You know, so
that must have been a heck of a comedy.
Flatmate. So it was a wonderful comedy. I remember Alvin Scott, Ruth Hoshing, Dorothy Cunningham, Earl Marsh, and some. It really was lovely. And then what made it funny is the fact that she had a countryman who financed everything, and she had a sweet town boy who not giving her 1 cent, and she played them. And the Christian one had this church brother who not making any advances, but he want to make advances, but him advance the Bible instead.
Yeah, right,
it was very funny.
Right.
So I wrote that play, and when I wrote it, somebody said to me, "So what you going to do with it now?" I said, "Nothing. Me write a play. Me know I can write play. Me corporate, me normal 9 to 5 are gone." And somebody said, "No man, enter it in the literary competition, a festival." So I entered Flatmate. That was about 1979, 1980, I can't remember. About 78, yeah. Entered it, and it won a bronze medal. I'm saying, hey, I'm going to get my bronze medal and be cool. Me done, you know.
That's it for you.
Yeah, that's
because
it for me. We can write a play.
Right.
Yeah, we can write a play. And then Barry Johnson, who was at the festival office, called me one day and said, "What you planning to do with the play?" I said, "Nothing. No, do nothing with it. You want it?" And then him say, "Listen to me, young man." You know, Barry. You remember him?
Yes, man.
Barry said, "Listen to me, young man. You see, when you write a play, you're pregnant. Until that play goes on a stage, you have not delivered. How long you planning to stay pregnant for?" Him say, "Well, me say, I don't think the play is all that." And him say, "Listen to me. Smile Orange, which is a big movie now, won a bronze medal in the same competition.
That immediately
you
busts
get
your head.
And then me just say, "Really? Smile Orange get a bronze medal and me get a bronze medal?" So him say, "Go get the play produced. It's a good play." So I decided to try and get it produced. Why me knock my every door? In those days.
But hold on, how did you know how to get it produced?
They know that now. Me never initially start off getting it trying to. What I started by doing was going to all the entities and individuals who produce plays back in those days. Weren't many. Reggie Carter and LTM and so on. Not many. And I went to them, and them say, "No. Who are you? Don't know you. Not take no chance with you. Not putting." And I remember I had a friend, him passed now, named Orville Blackwood, said to me one day, "You walk up and down and I beg people to produce a play. Why you not do it yourself?" So me say, "Me produce a play? No, sir, me say, I don't know so much. The little thing when I know about play is pure student and amateur things." And so me say, "No, sir." Him say, "Listen to me, man. I'm a furniture manufacturer. What I knew as a furniture manufacturer when I started, you know more in a theater right now. So me now say, if me could have started and be successful, me don't see why you can't start." So him say, "What is involved?" Me say, "First of all, money, and get a theater and so on and so forth." Well, for what it's worth, him sowed that seed in my head, and I decided to say, "Yeah, why not?" But here's the problem, man. Getting the financing, nobody wouldn't countenance me. Getting a theater space,
Right.
you think it's hard to get theater space now? First of all,
Back then there was only 3 theaters, huh?
Wherever plays were kept, me go to all of them, and all of them run me. Some of them do even run me graciously. They run me. And run me. Them literally, me don't want to embarrass nobody now.
Right.
Me want to protect the living and the dead. Them literally. First of all, then is when I realized that theater was an elite sport in Kingston. You either had to be of the upper St. Andrew mix, you had to have gone to one of the colleges in England, or been trained in England, or have some kind of English, some kind of England pedigree. I had nothing. Plus I was black. And you can say anything you want. Black, that is when I formulated something that I understood that is with me up to now. And I say it all the time. And people don't like it, but it's true. You see, when you're black, poor, come from a country, and nobody know your father, if you live, you have to suck salt through a wooden spoon. Nothing is going to be easy.
Thank you for checking us out on Good News Jamaica TV for content that informs, inspires, and transforms. Please like, share, leave a comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more positive Jamaica content. Walk good.